Welcome to the Blind Zone, where curiosity brings its own reward. And what am I curious about today? Well, today I'm curious how long and why my friend stuck with me for so many years. And I'm laughing about that, but really, today I have a privilege of talking with my bestie, Janine, and we're going to talk about our childhood and she does math better than me, so she'll tell you how many years we've been at this. But anyway, so welcome in, Janine. Come on in.
Thank you, Bestie.
We are besties.
It's an honor to be on one of your shows.
So how long have we been doing this? Because I moved next door to you when I was in the fourth grade. So how many years is that?
Well, I was 6, so 59.
59. Now, in a year from now, we're going to do this on our 60th anniversary. But yeah, and seriously, I moved into the neighborhood right next door to her, and you had lived there since you were a baby. Is that correct?
We moved there sometime when I was in a crib. That's my first memory, was looking out the slats of the crib. I think I was 2, and I think we moved there in 1960.
Okay, fair
What
enough.
year did you move there?
You're asking questions. I don't know. I was going to the fourth grade, whatever that makes me. So yeah, I don't remember, but the first recollection was she was riding her bike out in front, and she stopped and said, "Do you want to take a ride on my bike?" I said, "Oh, I sure do." And there was an electrician's truck in my driveway, and I took her bike and drove it right into the side of the electrician's truck. And we became fast friends ever since.
That's right. And I even took her riding on a bicycle built for 2, so she could have a different kind of experience after she lost her vision.
Yeah, but that wasn't early on. That was way later. But, that's another one of our great stories. So today we're going to talk about a couple things. We're going to talk about a few things that happened in our childhood. We're going to talk about a couple things where we had some bumpy roads, but we were there for each other. But the most exciting thing is the crazy stuff we've done since.
What happens with Janine and Denise stays with Janine and Denise.
And we'll tell you now. But yeah, we have traveled so many roads together, and we were talking about this the other day, and we'll get into it a little later. So I'm going to tell you one of my memories. Well, from our childhood, we did all kinds of crazy things. We had bought a plastic boat from this guy. I think we bought
My brother.
Oh, I thought it was Joe from down the street.
No, it was my brother, because I remember the first day he got the boat, going down to a little pond near Rouge River, and my dad launching it and him taking it out.
So, because we used to have Edward Hines Drive would flood because it was deliberate as a floodplain, and Janine and I took the boat down there then. And
yeah, the Rouge River. I'm sure that was real safe at the time in the 60s, throw out a match and it'll catch on fire.
Yeah, clean as a whistle, because it came down from the Ford plant at the Rouge plant. But you're right, that probably was a health hazard. But what do we know at 8, 9, or 10?
Not to mention getting carried away by the strong currents in a river that it just flooded.
Flowed out. And where did that end up, I wonder?
What, the boat?
No, Rouge River.
Oh, the Rouge River ends up going into Lake St. Clair.
Yeah, that wouldn't have been
or Lake Erie, one of the two.
One of the two.
Anyway,
yeah, I'm not
near
really
to where they join.
Yeah, and then I remember building out of IBM cards a big IBM village in your basement and putting glitter all over it, and just
that was your basement.
See, we lived 2 different childhoods.
Yes, we did. That's okay. Because that's why your brother was there.
Because I was thinking that. Well, why was my brother there to smash the whole thing? Why would he come into your house? But yeah, okay.
Oh, this was pretty elaborate. The old IBM punch cards, okay? And the final touch was just the sprinkle of glitter on the top. And we were feeling so good. And here comes Jimmy. Him and his Bobby, was it, from across the street? And bam! Destruction. But the journey and the fun is in the creation.
You say that. But, okay, in my brother's defense, he's not like that at all now. He's a much kinder, gentler man. But yeah, I was thinking, well, how did my brother get down to your basement to smash that all? But I guess that was it.
You think my mother would let us have glitter all over my basement? That wouldn't happen.
That's true too.
Uh,
And so, what were some of your earliest memories about the crazy stuff we did?
okay. Well, because Denise and I are probably about the most different people that you would ever find, um, I'm going to give you some experience. I have a list. See, little different than Denise's style, you know. Denise is off the cuff, and I am prepared. Okay.
Yeah.
One thing I remember is one year for school, we got a new pair of black cutout shoes, and the cutout shoes had white linings, you know, around the outside of the cutouts. And we were always looking for ways to make extra money to fund our activities. And so we were going to help rake the leaves in Denise's yard. But of course, it was after school and it gets dark out pretty early. And we were out there raking leaves, you know, we're making all this money and having all this fun. And we come in and, well, Denise had a couple dogs. And you know what dogs do? Well, what dogs do was all over our shoes and in the cutouts and everything else. So we loved our shoes until
We ruined them.
they were full of, you know.
Doggy doo doo.
Yes. And then, oh, this is a good one. There was a neighbor that lived nearby us. She says, oh my God.
Maybe I should have previewed these.
No.
Started.
And, you know, we just thought, we didn't like her that day very much, you know. So she had a swing set in her backyard, and we dug a hole under where the swing is. And then we put some paper across the top and lightly sprinkled a little bit of dirt. You never know the hole was there. And we proceeded to have this person follow us all around her yard while we stepped over the hole with the intent of her falling in.
We were such kind children.
Yes, weren't we though? And then we had a sleepover once at my house in a pup tent. And we woke up in the morning and like Denise's glasses are all wet. And we're thinking like, was this dew or what? You know, no, it was my brother and his friends that had tossed water balloons at us through the night. Then that same brother and friend, Denise went up north to our property in Atlanta, and we had 6 acres up there, and it was just in the middle of nowhere. And we took our pop-up trailer and we camp up there. And we each had a bag of golden nuggets. Now, if you're our age, you might remember they're just little gum pieces, kind of oddly shaped, in a little canvas bag with a drawstring. And my brother and his friend wanted some of those nuggets. And do you think Denise and I would, you know, give in to that? Not without profiting in some way.
Yeah, really.
So tell them, what did we do with them?
Well, finish the story.
Well, you know, we tell them, run around the whole property, you know, 2 times and you get awarded a piece of gum. You know, that was fun. Also, we've had food adventures. We loved our popcorn balls, and we'd make a whole batch of them. And carefully, we only allowed ourselves 1 each per half an hour. That was a lot of self-control, right? To polish off the batch. Or we would go to Dunkin' Donuts and get a dozen donuts, 6 each.
And sit there and eat them, and it was a wonder we didn't end up with diabetic comas.
Yes.
I remember that. It was like we sat down there and we got them, and the lady thought we were going to walk out with them. It's like, are you crazy? We sat down, opened the lid, and started eating.
Yeah, and similarly, after school, nothing to do. My mom's a baker. We get out a cake mix, whip it up, eat half the batter, and bake the rest. So that was a lot of fun.
That was. Now, I remember that at school they had the science fair, and we bought the chemistry kit. And then we made all kinds of crap in your basement.
Well, this was the mad scientist lab.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. And we saved our money for that. And we did all kinds of experiments with that. I loved it. All the test tubes and beakers and chemicals and potions that we could make.
But it just amazed me that they gave that to kids, and some of those were poisonous.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah. And our parents let us play with it,
Yeah,
you know.
go get out of here, go play. Because your mom said something, because we had dyed these strips of something with some of this, and we put them in the dryer, and she said they're not going to dry. They're not with water. And I'm like, yeah, well, you don't know what you're talking about, Dolores. And we threw them in there, and we waited. Hours later, we pulled them out, and they're still wet. It's like, oh, I guess your mom was right about that. And I still never figured out why a dryer won't just dry a liquid. It was like, no, it has to dry water only.
See, I don't remember that. I don't remember that. Isn't it funny what we remember? And of course, Denise has always been creative, you know, and some of this manifested itself in different ways. Uh, her mom, you know, liked her beer, and I
What are you,
remember the
violet?
Budweiser cans. And she stacked a pyramid of Budweiser cans in her bedroom. And on the wall behind the pyramid of Budweiser cans, the wall was painted red. And she painted the image of a like late 70s hippie or something, the silhouette in black behind these cans. It matched, you know. And I thought, man, that's really a great idea. I'm going to start collecting beer cans too. And what better place to collect them than Hines Park, where everybody threw their beer cans? So I proceeded to make a bigger and better stack of beer cans. Mine didn't have to match though. And they went all across the wall in my basement and all the way to the ceiling. And the fun stuff happened when you wanted to pull one of them out or someone knocked into them and they would just crash all over the floor. Those things got filled with spiders, you know, whatever. I'm sure my mom hated those things, but she let me do it.
Well, the Budweiser cans, because mine were 4 deep, and my mom liked the tall ones. So we started with the tall ones, and you went to the shorter ones. But it was all the way to it was a gradual pyramid, but it went all the way to the ceiling almost. Well, my dog Suzette had puppies, and we were sleeping, and the puppies came and hit that can, and they all came tumbling down, and so we all woke up on a big. And the puppies, ran in, smacked them, ran out. I forgot all about that. And then I used the beer tabs as curtains.
Oh, yes.
So I
Beer tab curtains.
beer tab curtains. Man, 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 what a skew childhood I had.
Yeah. And we had string, and we wanted to communicate with one another from our bedroom. So we strung the string from house to house in a loop with a little, whatever, what was it, a cup we had on there or
A
something that we
tin
would pull it,
can.
tin
Yeah,
can.
yeah.
Yeah. So that's a little Denise's creativity there early on. Oh, and then we had a stuffed animal club.
Yes.
And we would argue about what constituted a stuffed animal because some of the animals might have been made of roughly plastic, or in Denise's case, a China squirrel.
That's right, ceramic. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
ceramic squirrel. But we would have our clubs, and she'd come spend the night or me over there, and we would have school for them. And we would have our evening sleepover snack of cinnamon toast. And boy, that sounds pretty tasty right now, doesn't it? When's the last time you had a piece of cinnamon toast?
It's been years, but the one day and your mom was always pretty good with that. And then the one day we pulled the butter out and it flipped over and splatted on the floor, and we're standing there like, oh no, is she gonna be so she comes out of the bedroom and fixed the whole thing up and fixed the cinnamon toast and shoot us back into the bedroom.
Yeah, yeah, and we had fun with everything. We'd build igloos together in our backyard, and we'd get cold and come in and make hot chocolate and put snow in it to cool it down or something.
Yeah, we were so backwards with that. It was like, make it hot. Oh, it's too hot.
But Denise was always very creative, and she always had a really good friend just to help her forward with all those endeavors because it was a blast, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There are things we did that I'm just marveling that we lived through that. But we did, and then but the best part, and Janine and I talked about this already. What made our friendship stick was the other was never critical of the other one. Like even when we were doing stupid stuff, they walked with us. She walked with me to do the stupid stuff. And one of the things I remember, this is as I was a little older, I had to go in for an MRI. And the first time I went in for the MRI, I didn't like it. And I scooted myself out. I crawled my way out of the machine, and I hear the man saying, "Stop, stop, you're gonna." I was like, "I don't care." So they scheduled me to come back, and Janine sat at the head of the MRI, and she read a book to me, and it was actually a book that she and I wrote together. So she sat there and it was like a hour procedure, and she sat there just reading, and I was calm because I could hear her. I know that she was right outside, and that was really a comfort to me. And she's been there for some very significant things. She was with me, during the divorce and
Broken leg.
broken leg. Yeah, that was the thing. I broke my leg, and she hitchhiked to the hospital every day, and we would play Monopoly. And then she was very, very instrumental. When my husband David died, she came down and helped fix all the paperwork and stuff. And I'm sorry about dabbing my nose, but I might be coming down with a slight cold. Anyway, the other thing she helped me with, that she just reminded me of, was after I lost my vision, she came down to visit me in Tennessee, and she went through my closet and she matched 10 outfits, so that the next morning all I had to, and they were outfits that I wouldn't have put together because I don't have vision, I don't have color, but she put them all together. And that was the most fun 2 weeks I ever had. I didn't have to think. I just walked in the bedroom, got a new outfit. She put the jacket, the shirt, and it was fabulous because she did that today for my outfit for church next week.
And it's fun for me to do it.
Yeah, because I can see it in my head, but she puts them together because I have what I thought was 4-part pair of brown pants, and they weren't brown at all. But my color reader said they're brown. And again, I'm sure you don't see this on professional things, people blowing their nose, but
And we have limited time because I have to leave for the airport when we're done with this, so no redos.
yeah,
Oh no, I forgot to turn it on. Oh crap. Just kidding.
yeah,
That was the look.
yeah.
Oh no, Janine. As
Well,
we're trying to use the Google to find the restaurant when we went to Chattanooga, and I didn't realize if I stood still, it was going to turn all around. So we went out of the way, just
we
three
walked
quarters
all
of
the
a
way
mile
backwards.
down and
Yeah,
back, but that was all right.
that was fine. I needed the exercise anyway. Anyway, so now we're going to tell you the fun stuff we've done more
Well,
recently.
I
Oh,
want to
sorry.
share how and why you helped me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. All right, I'm going to read this though. Because we have journeyed through almost 60 years of life together, Denise has walked with me through the most difficult times in my life. She deeply knows my most innermost being, my fears, my imperfections, my struggles, my pain, and my suffering. Because what I am on the inside is not what you see on the outside. Denise gives me strength when I'm weak, provides me a safe haven to be who I really am with no judgment. Denise guides me with her unique insight and suggestions based on love and lifelong understanding. Denise gives me her unfaltering love, her loyalty, her directions when I'm lost. Denise gives me wisdom, strength, and courage to act in my own best interests when I can't do it by myself. Denise gives me her undying love and support, and I know she has been, is, and always will be my biggest cheerleader. The end.
That's true. And we talked about this too. As many times as I told her, you're one of the smartest people I know. And on an aside, now as you can see, she's stunningly gorgeous. And so it was funny when we were in high school, all I had to do was stand next to her, and I got the rejects of the people that had no shot with her. I had half a chance. And I laugh about that now, but it's true. And I was almost invisible, which is fine because I didn't want to be the center, because it's like I stood next to stunning, and then I was
Well,
half
but
shining.
see, at that time, I didn't know that about myself at
Yeah,
all.
yeah,
It
yeah.
was it took a long time for me to learn that, I, was given some genetic traits, but, that 6'1" with red hair, who's not going to look?
Right, right. But you also carry yourself very well. Because I remember we were going through an airport once, and this guy came up, and I was by that time I had lost my vision, and so I was hanging onto Janine's arm, because sighted guide is faster than cane training. And so this guy comes up to Janine. Oh, can I help you? I'm thinking to myself, um, she has eyeballs and she can see. And he walked around me. He didn't even bother with me. And he walks by and he's talking to her. And he was just, yep, yep. Oh, let me. And I just thought that was the funniest thing. Because it didn't even look like she was like standing there looking for something. Oh, can I help you? She said, no, no, we're fine. And he just helped her along the way. And I just thought, that's the beauty of being beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. Well, insides and outsides can be unmatched. So I'm still working on the inside. And thanks to you, I continue to grow.
Well, and again, I've done some stupid stuff, and I tell her, and she never said, I don't really know if that's the right thing. So even after I go off road, she's like, I'm still there for you and with you. And now onto the fun things. One of the We've done a lot of things. She'll come down here to Tennessee, or when I was in Tennessee, she came there. And now I'm in Georgia, so she's come here. And a couple years ago, was it in 19? I think when you came down here, because I was in the condo then. She said, "What do you want to do?" Because Janine hates downtime. If she's not busy, she's a crazy person. So I try to really fill up our days, and she's really great for
And that's
helping.
fun for me.
Yeah, that's fun.
That's
So
fun.
she's really great for cleaning up my closets and for helping me with this, that, and the other.
Throwing stuff away.
Throwing stuff away. Yeah, you have to be careful with that because, anyway. So I said I would like to go hang gliding. So she looked it up, and about an hour and a half away from here is a hang gliding place. So she set that up. So tell them a little bit about our hang gliding adventure.
Oh, it was great. It was great. It was something I always wanted to do. So it was tandem hand gliding. And we got out there, and the weather was not looking fabulous for hang gliding. So I'm sure Denise sent up a few prayers that if God wanted this to happen, it would happen. And you know what? There was a break in the weather. And she got with her guy, and I got with mine, laying on top of them on these things, and off into the heavens we went. And for her, it's just a full body sense experience, which has its own benefits. I could see, but seeing takes away from some of the, obviously, the other sensations that you have in your body. But while we were up there, of course, I'm saying, oh, look at Denise. I'm so jealous. They got to go over there in the cumulus nimbus clouds that were forming over there and really go way up. But it's true. We landed, got off, and all the other people who were waiting had to turn around and go home. We were the only ones got to ride that day. So,
Well, because the guy said to me, he knew that I was blind. So you're attached to him, and it's the safest thing ever. I thought we'd be running off the I thought we'd be running off the cliff, and do it that way. So you're really really safe, and so you're hanging on to him, and you're hanging on to something else. So you're all secured in, and the glider takes us up, and we're just gliding along. And I said, excuse me, you're going to have to tell me what's below us. I can't see a thing. Oh, okay. Well, we're coming up to the river, and some guy's just got a bunch of hay bales in his farm, and he said, "How do you want this ride to go?" And I said, "It's as smooth as possible. I don't want any loop-de-loops. I don't want any of that crazy stuff." And he said, "No, this is against the law, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to take you inside a cloud so you can feel it." And I'm like, "Sweet." So I could feel when we went in the cloud, and it was all rainy, and then we came out, and we went back in, and we came back out, and that was really fun. He said, "No, don't tell anybody that because that's against the law. We're not allowed to do that, but I want you to have that experience." And then we landed, and I just felt. I mean, it was just such a gift. And like she said, I could hear them. I was standing there by the radar while Janine was up, traveling around. And I could hear the guy, okay, 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 we'll close it down. Bad weather. Sorry, folks, but and I was thrilled that we were able to do that. And so we did that. And just recently, in fact, 2 nights ago, I have to think what day it is. We went to Chattanooga because one of my favorite comedians, Kathleen Madigan, was performing, and so we got down to Chattanooga and we walked all over and we saw her show in the evening, and that was super fun. And I had flown down to Florida when she was there visiting her mom, and so we went shopping. And this is the other thing about Janine: her and her mom. You put them in a consignment store or in a thrift store, they are the biggest bargain, but they know what they're looking for. They'll pick it up. Nope, that's not. And so I just sat in a chair, and they kept bringing me stuff over. What do you think about this? This is. I came home with the most fun things, and again, I wear them all for the blind zone. So that was super fun. So we had a really great weekend. Well,
I have to interject, that cloud you were in, if you knew what it looked like, you probably wouldn't have went in there. It was towering, several layers just and getting darker as it went up, I was jealous. I'll have to go again.
and that's the beauty of not seeing, because sometimes you just scare yourself silly for this stuff. But again, she's a real trooper, because again, I can use my cane, but it's just easier to go sighted guide. So she dragged me all over, and then went, we went to the airport, and that's a whole adventure. And so it was funny. We must have looked like criminals or something, because they frisked her and they went through our suitcases, and I'm like, I don't know. I think we look like the most tame people on the planet, but they did their job, and it was fun. And so, anything else you want to add about our most recent adventures? Because again,
Oh,
after David died, she came down and she helped clean the stuff out. She helped put the paperwork in order so that I didn't have to wonder, if I had missed anything. She hooked me up with Instacart so I could get groceries, and she was just such a huge help, because I was by myself and I didn't have vision, and other people helped me, but she was just instrumental. She waited till after the funeral, came down, and we got down to brass tacks and business.
yeah. Well, she can't see me when I roll my eyes at her, but what the hey there. We
I
also
can
walked
hear
on the
them.
beach in Florida,
Oh, that was fun. Yeah.
and that was lovely. Yeah, I think, the Train and Goo Goo Dolls concert that we
Oh, yeah,
went
yeah,
to.
yeah, 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 yeah.
That was, what is that? America's Stadium, is that what it's called?
Ameris Bank Amphitheater.
Ameris Bank Amphitheater. Yeah, that was a lot of fun, and I look forward to another concert with her. So, yeah, that's about it that I have at the moment.
Yeah, because we have really done we've done some fun things, but there's been some low points in each of our lives, but we've helped the other through them. And again, that's what I know. I know whatever I'm going to get into, she's always going to be there for me.
You
We were
betcha.
we were sitting there at church the other day, and I just thought, oh, I couldn't imagine life without her, and I hope I don't have to do that for a while, but very, very instrumental. And
Well, we'll never be without each other because we live in each other's hearts and memories. So,
yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, anything else you want to say before we wrap this up? And
no, but it was a pleasure being with you as always, my buddy.
yeah, and I hope you take a good look at the thumbnail, because that was us in our heyday. We were what? How old were we in that picture of the pool?
Oh, gosh. Let me see. I would say about 10 and 12.
Okay, yeah, yeah, and that picture graces her bathroom wall. So,
Yes, it does.
and and again, she was really put a lot of thought into this, and I was kind of off the cuff, and oh yeah, I remember this and remember that. I'll think of many stories after
She has
we.
way better memory than I do. I got to tap her for memories from time to time, just so you know what I did when I was young.
Anyway, well,
Or old.
yeah, because technology isn't. My clickers never work. She's gonna have to hop up like a bunny and shut this off after I conclude. But anyway, thanks for coming on. This is one of my favorite. We're calling it the Besties.
All righty.
Say goodbye.
Bye. I blew him a kiss.